Well, God bless you. Listen, let me go immediately into a message I want to share with you. This is Brother Frank Ray here at Salem on the Parkway. We preached a message entitled, God Can Do It. That's right. You want to hear this message God's allowed us to share with the people of God here in this wonderful place. Let's listen. After this, there was a feast of the Jews. Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there was at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. These lay a great multitude of impotent folk, blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. Certain man was there which had an infirmity of 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I'm coming, another step down before me. Jesus said unto him, Arise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Thank you so much. I want to again deal with another one of these sign miracles that is recorded in the gospel as recorded by John. Thank you so much, ushers. I don't have a subject for now, and maybe one will come to me a little later. But I want to just kind of walk through this text again and allow the text to tailor the truth. If I just talk it through, it's enough in here that will bless someone. One of the things that I want us to be clear on is that Jesus is not a Santa Claus that come to give us our wishes and desires. That too many times we look for the wrong things out of Jesus and miss the things that Jesus came to do for us. That most of the times our wishes and desires are physical things. That we look for Jesus to bless us with material things, materialistic things, things we can see, things we can smell, things we can taste, things we can hear. These things are all right, but that's not Jesus' purpose for him in our lives. I want you, before I get too far, to go over to Acts chapter 2, and verse 22 kind of spells out what Jesus' mission was while he was on planet Earth. In Acts chapter 2 and verse 22, Peter, the pensman of the text, writes and reminds us as to the purpose of Jesus. So ye men of Israel, hear these words, Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles, wonders, and signs. I want you to remember that Jesus came to present to us miracles, wonders, and signs. that was his purpose, to share with us these three things: miracles, help me say miracles, wonders, and signs. That was the purpose of Jesus, to come to present to us. And John spells it out throughout the book of John. He gave us 7 signed miracles. The first one was a sign miracle in John chapter 2, where Jesus came and he dealt with disappointment, that there was a wedding going on and the wine had run out, which meant that there was a shortage in the house. Jesus majored in dealing with disappointments. If you're honest with yourself, that there were times in your life when you too were disappointed over something, but the Lord came and straightened up your hour of disappointment. But then in John chapter 4, which is the second miracle, was when this nobleman's son was healed. Jesus dealt with doubt because they didn't believe that Jesus had the power to heal the man. And Jesus exemplified that by saying, I don't even have to go to your house to heal him. I can heal him at a distance, which means the Lord don't have to go to your house to heal you. He can send his power wherever he's at. But then this passage deals with disability. Here is a person in this passage that was disabled, and the Lord came to his aid and his rescue. Now, when you watch John, in John chapter 5, you get the holy helpful hint that John is keeping record, that he's keeping time of things that Jesus did. Watch what it says in verse 1. It said, after this. It meant that Jesus had finished doing something, and he was on his way to do something else. John says that Jesus was extremely busy in his days while on planet Earth. Like so, we too should be busy. This is not a time to be idle and sit down and do nothing. Time is too short, and eternity is too long for us to play around and do nothing. He said after this there was a feast of the Jews. Now, there were 3 major feasts in the Bible. One was the feast of the Passover. Talk to me, somebody. The second was the feast of Pentecost. And the third was the feast of the tabernacle. These were the 3 major feasts that were in place during the days of Jesus. But they were called the feast of the Lord. But now the text called them the feast of the Jews. Isn't it amazing how people will rob God of his glory? The things where we should focus on him, we'll find ourselves focusing on ourselves. There are days now that we have taken from the Lord. The days we call it Easter Sunday, because it's Easter Sunday. It's a time to get sharp and to look for eggs and to display bunny rabbits. But it's really not Easter Sunday, it's Resurrection Sunday. That if you keep it resurrection, you'll keep your focus on the risen Savior. But when you call it Easter Sunday, that means you get sharp and little children show up that you don't see no more until next Easter. Y'all not here. There's another day that we have taken from the Lord. It's his birthday. Instead of calling the birth of Christ, we call it Christmas. And because it's Christmas, that means you have Christmas parties. from the 1st of December until the end of December is Christmas party, and you invite everybody but the birthday person. That if Jesus would show up to some of our so-called Christmas parties, we wouldn't be able to keep him because there's nothing in there that he like. Y'all don't hear me in this house. And we, instead of focusing on Christ, we focus on somebody dressed in a red suit that's supposed to be coming down a chimney in a house that don't have a chimney in. Oh, we find our way of robbing that belong to God, and we use it for our own glory. He said here that there's a feast of the Jews. Walk with me a moment. It's a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now it says, now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda. The word Bethesda means mercy. Remember that. It means mercy, having 5 porches. The word 5 is the word in the Bible for grace. Here it is, a place of mercy. And it is presented to us with the grace of God. I don't know if you know it or not, but grace and mercy work hand in hand together. There's a little difference between the two. Mercy is when you don't get what you do deserve. Grace is when you get what you don't deserve. Let me explain. I just committed a crime. I go to the court, and because of the crime I have committed, I am to do time behind bars. But instead of doing time, the judge have mercy on me and said, since this is your first offense, I'm going to let you off. Now, I was supposed to do time, but because he had mercy on me, he did not give me what I deserve. Thank God, God don't give us what we deserve. Psalms 103 verse 10 says, God does not judge man according to his sin, nor reward him according to his iniquity. I heard a preacher preaching that one day. He said, I want to thank God for what he didn't do. You see, we always thank him for what he did do, but every now and then you ought to tell him thank you for what he didn't do. Because the wages of sin is death. You see, by right, all of us deserve death, but instead of giving us death, he has given us life, which means he didn't give me what I did deserve. Grace means favor. Favor means that you got something you didn't earn. All of us in here, we have been favored by God. God has had and given us favor. One of the things the devil don't like for you to do is even mention this matter of grace. He try hard to keep you from being saved by grace. Matter of fact, if there's a sinner sitting in the house this morning, when the invitation is extended and the word go forth for you to accept Christ as your Savior, if you're not careful, somebody's sitting right next to you, the devil will punch them in the side and they'll have to get up and move. And they get up, the devil move them just so you won't get up to come to Christ. He do all the stuff he can to keep you from being saved by grace. He'll have somebody next to you using their cell phone, sending emails and texts in worship service, looking at Facebook. I wish I had some help in there. Stuff to distract you from being saved by grace. But after you have been saved by grace, the devil will try to stop you from growing in grace. In other words, he'll have excuses to keep you from coming to Bible study, to stop you from coming to Sunday school. You'll be too busy to study your own Bible. He don't want you to grow in grace. if you're saved by grace, grow in grace, then it will try to get you to fall in disgrace. Because when you fall in disgrace, it will damage your testimony. In other words, what you say, folk won't want to hear you because they can't look past your mistakes and hear what you have to say. Am I here by myself? And so the 5 porches stand for grace. It was his grace. The Bible said, and then watch the problem. There lay. Everybody there was laying down. Nobody was moving. They were laying. Then it said they were impotent. That means without strength. Then they were blind, which meant they couldn't see. Then they were halt, which means they were crippled. Then it said they were withered, which means useless. Y'all don't like me. People had then serious problems. They were at the gate, had 5 porches. It was kind of a hospital where the weak, the weary, the wounded, without strength came to lay and die. They were all in serious conditions. But it also described the condition of people now. It really described the state that we're in right now. That all of us have a serious problem. Number one, we have a problem with disappointment. I'm looking at somebody here now. Your heart is broken right now because of what someone has done to you. And you can't get past what they did or what they said. And it's wearing you down. You get up with it on your mind. You go to work with it in your heart. You come home looking at it. Every movie you see remind you of your disappointment. Talk to me if you can. But I'll stop to tell you that God can solve all disappointments. He has an unusual way of turning your world upside down. He can turn your midnights into day. He can take your traps and turn them into trapeze. He made you in handling disappointment. But not only did they have a problem with disappointment, they had a problem with doubt. Doubt sits on your shoulder. Even those of us that have faith, faith is on one shoulder, doubt is on the other. Faith says you can make it, doubt says you won't be able to do it. Faith said take a step, doubt said don't make a fool of yourself. Faith said one step will do, doubt said wait until another day. Doubt love to keep us down. Do I have a witness? But then there is what you call disability. That means you want to do stuff, but you're not able to do it. Oh, y'all don't like me in this house. You want to do it, but you say, I don't see how I'm going to survive. Here's what I must do. Validate your weakness. In other words, stop saying you're strong when you ain't. Stop trying to convince yourself you can do stuff you can't do. Too many of us give ourselves grades too high. Y'all don't hear me in this house. You give yourself a grade too high. You talking about what I can do. You can't do it without Christ. But if you have him, you can get it done. Oh, I'm going to take my time today. If you trust him, help me say him. Jesus come to wrought a miracle. Deus, Greek word for miracles. It means power. It means strength. It means might. Meaning what I cannot do, the Lord can do. What I'm not able to do, God can get it done. Is there anybody here have already experienced a miracle? The best way to describe a miracle is this way: something that can't happen, but it happened. Something that's impossible to be done, but it was done. I don't have to go far to see a miracle. All I have to do is just stand up in the mirror. And I see a miracle every time I stand. Maybe I'm the only one in here that can attest to the fact that I don't look for a miracle. I am a miracle. You better take somebody like I was, turn their life around. Can't nobody do it but the Lord. The Bible said there lay a great multitude of impotent folk. Now here's the problem. If it was one that had strength, it'd be all right. But the whole multitude was weak. Y'all got your Bibles open. They were impotent. They were blind, which meant they couldn't see. Halt, which means they were withered. And then they were waiting. It's so hard now to wait. Waiting is one of the most difficult things on planet Earth to do now, because we're so used to having it right now. We can't wait at a red light. We sit there, and because the light take 30 seconds to change, we're restless. When is it going to change? Why is it taking so long? We can't wait for other folks to get in the traffic. We pull up to keep them from getting in. We go to McDonald's, can't wait on a Big Mac. Sit there, if it take 2 minutes, we start looking in the window. What are they doing with my food? It's taking too long. They sell cars now, not because of how they look, but because of speed. How fast they can get from 0 to 60. And you take off flying like a bat out of hell and ain't going nothing but to the next block. Turn around, but we can't wait on nothing. We don't even use our stoves no more. It takes too long to cook. We put everything in the microwave. We got any help in this house? You can get a $50 phone to do anything you want to do with it, and that's call. That's all you need to do with it. Call whoever you're going to call. We spend $1,000 on a phone because they say it's quicker. Y'all don't like me in this house. That's why young people get in trouble now trying to get money quick. Don't want to take time. Talk to me, somebody, and make a decent living. You want to sell drugs and you want to get it right now. Want to get it quick. Want to get a quick dollar right now. Because they see us doing stuff in a hurry. It's hard to wait. Young ladies can't wait till you get grown and get married. You got to experience sexual activity before you're strong enough to say no. And you can't talk to black brothers long because they got a gift of gab. They know how to talk you out of stuff. Twist the head one-sided. Anytime they cock their head sideways, run. Don't hang around because they finna get you. I wish I had some help in this house. You run as soon as you can. They'll tell you they're gonna get you a new car and they own a bicycle. So hard to wait. But they were waiting on the moving of the water, because a certain season of the year an angel will come and trouble the water. And whoever was the first one that stepped in after the troubling of the water, they were made whole. Wait all the year, blind, halt, withered, lame, weeded.
Well, again, time has come and gone. We're out of time, but certainly not out of message. Hope you've been blessed while listening to this sermon, a portion of it. God can do it. Remember, I don't care what you're encountering, what you're dealing with, where your status, what your situation, your financial status. Never give up on God. God can do the impossible. Man's extremity is God's opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing with us. Love for you to have this message. You can listen to it again and again. Of course, you can always call 1-800-375-4007 or go to godisgoodministry.net or to write to God is Good Ministry, 2237 South Parkway, East Memphis, Tennessee, zip 38114. Contact us or come worship with us Sunday morning. You will be blessed if you come to this place, and let's have church. Be blessed.